That's most definitely what's up.
Shout out to the chess club. We're aiming for a controversial 7 out of 10.
They said I wouldn't do it. They doubted me. Somebody, I wish I had a screenshot. Last year, when I said that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League looked like it was gonna flop, and I thought it looked like trash. They said, you're not even gonna play it. You're just hating on it. And the second that it's successful, you're gonna bail. But look at me now. Is the game successful? Not quite. And have I bailed? No. No. Sure haven't. And here we are. Here we are, ready to jump in to season 2 of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. This, I mean, we all kind of know what we're in for. This is kind of like, you know, the Titanic sinking. We're here for sake of the morbid curiosity, you know. I don't think anybody's expecting that this update will save the game. I think I saw 1 or 2 people in chat who have played this already today. If you've already played it, yeah, represent yourself in chat. Tell me in chat. I gotta hear. I need to hear from you. We are here for the memes. I'm not even kidding. It's lazy, says Jonathan. Yeah, I played it. Jake, how for those of you who have played it, obviously a lot of you are not super impressed. Why does Rabbit now ban them? Yeah, you just outed yourselves, caught you red-handed. No, if you've played it, how long was the grind through it? Is it on par with the first season? Because the first season was pretty. It was pretty a lot. Pretty a lot. Let me see if I go boop, boop. Deactivate that. Okay. There we go. What's there to spoil? Yeah, I mean, 2 hours max, 3 hours. Oh man. Oh man. I mean, I'll give you guys the breakdown in case you have not seen this before and you don't know how this works, okay? Basically, how they've set this up for Suicide Squad is that for the new season, they bring a new character. Makes sense. Sounds cool. To get the new character, you have to grind a bunch of, like, there's basically multiple little battle passes. One of the battle passes is just for the season or for the episode of the season. And in order to unlock the character, you have to level up that episode's battle pass to a certain point, and then you can unlock the character for free. So when they said it's a free character unlock, it is technically true. But whenever you say technically, it always is like, wait, what? Why did you say technically? Shouldn't there just be, yes, it's free? Well, the thing is, they lock it behind, like, some people are saying 2.5 hours. Some people are saying 3 hours. For the Joker, I ran into some bugs where certain missions were supposed to give you like 2 levels on the way to, I think it was like 25 or 30 levels or 35, something like that. And you needed to get to that level by completing these very specific missions, but the missions wouldn't pay out the amount that they were saying they would. So you'd expect it to give you 2 levels, but it would give you like 1.2 levels. And so it just across the board is frustrating in every single way possible. Now you can select squad. You can see I've got my kind of loadout with the Joker before. I didn't have the strength with season 1 to actually finish the grind because it wasn't working right and it just wasn't fun. I was hoping there'd be some new missions and stuff, but there really was not much. So there's that. So last time somebody came in and threw $10 at me and was like, Luke, for the love of God, please just get the Joker so that we can just see how he plays and move on. I will be honest, that's almost certainly what's going to happen here, because the idea of grinding 3 hours of this to get, you know, Rosie O'Donnell in a weird swimsuit, I just don't know if I have the strength to do it. So we're probably just going to, you know, do as I say, not as I do. I'll probably just end up getting her so we can see what she plays like, see if it's worth it. It probably won't be, but we'll do it that way and move on from there. Now, from this, you can see we select the episode. Now, each of the episodes are designed in similar ways. It's not that varied, but you can see we have Finite Crisis, episode 1, Fear, episode 2, Duality, episode 3, Frozen Hearts, and a bunch of others. Bear in mind, this game is supposed to have 13 different Brainiacs for you to fight. And, or 13 different like Elseworld variants for you to engage with. There's just, it's a little insane. It's a little insane. There's a lot. And so far, all of them have been, all of them have been just reskins of previous ones. So it's like, oh, it's a reskin of the Green Lantern fight, or it's a reskin of the Superman fight, but now he's got a Brainiac coat of paint to him. And what's weird is you'll grind out all of that stuff, and then you get access to the new character, but you've already completed the big boss fight at the end of the mission. So you would think they give you the character and then you get to use them to do the grinding because it's the new character that makes it interesting. But no, they make you grind with the stuff you've already got to get the character, and then you get the character and it's like, well, I just grinded a ton. Like, why am I doing this? Whitest Rabbit already in with a $10 super chat there. Just end the suffering early. Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for the stream. We'll see you later. Bye. Yeah, so I just honestly, I'm not sure how they thought this was going to engage players long term. I just don't get it. I just personally don't get it. So what we'll probably do is we'll rock this out. We'll try it. Try the new character, see how she moves and plays.
Rabbit donated
go from there.
$10 through super chat.
Shout out.
There, end the suffering early.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Yeah, Puggy, am I gonna check out the new skins? I mean, if we go all the way over to, I think I have to load in first. Hold on. Episode 3, I'm gonna go play and we'll load in. I can also add the $10 to the account so we can get that going. I might have already done it like months ago in preparation for this. I was like, just save me. Okay. There's also a cutscene that I accidentally skipped past, so might have to pull that up. Okay.
We've located another of Brainiac's dimensional invasion points and a survivor.
While we're out.
Dr. Frias. I've already been in contact and negotiated a deal.
The Mr. Freeze? Even one from another dimension is sure to be very cool. Very competent.
I should hope so. She's agreed to aid us in the field and in the lab. It's clear Brainiac is still experimenting on the Justice League. We've isolated the Flash's unique Speed Force signature on the Skull ship.
Hang on a tick. Is what now? What do you mean all speedsters have got him?
Yes, Harkness, they do. Including you. You're especially easy to track.
Oh.
We're still working on details to acquire the Flash, but Freeze will be an asset there. Get her first.
Wait. Her?
That's all the acknowledgement they're gonna do. Okay. Yeah, so to be clear, this is not a different character. This is Mr. Freeze, but a woman. Which, is that like the end of the world? Is that horrible and offensive? Like, no. It's just, why did they do that instead of going with a more interesting character? Why did they feel the need to just take an established character everybody knows and loves and then gender swap it? It does a disservice to like the many female characters and variants that are inspired by Mr. Freeze, but are their own characters. That's what I don't get about this whole like, just take an established character and make them a girl. It's like that does a disservice to the actual characters that were written from the ground up to be like empowered, powerful, stunning, brave, and beautiful women. You know, it just doesn't do it. Now, in terms of map changes, it is icy. So there's that. It's raining, but other map alterations, I'm not really seeing any. And I'm looking. Yeah, Yawn is right, Joker. I honestly, I only see the one thing in the center that has got like ice and snow over it. I don't see anything else on the map that is even remotely icy. Maybe, oh, over there, there's another. So that stadium's got some ice. Over there's got some ice. Okay, so there's a few scattered about. They're few and far between, kind of hard to see, but there are some. So there's that. There's that. I don't know what I was expecting, but there's that. So okay, let's go over here. We'll get Mrs. Freus, who probably drives a Prius, set up in here, okay? Before, hopefully I don't die. Okay. So, shout out real quick for Musing Muses for the $11 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Doing this to undo the suffering ending. And P Jack, thank you for the 5. I'm with Boomerang on this. Well, it's the same thing they did with this Joker, where Harley was like, "What do you mean the Joker's here? I thought the Joker was dead." And they're like, "Well, it's from another reality, so it's not really him." And they talked in the promotional materials about how it was going to be really interesting to see how Harley would react to it. And everybody was like, yeah, that would be really interesting. If you were in love with someone in a dysfunctional, broken relationship, and then they die, you start to recover from that, but then a version of them comes back from an alternative reality. That would be a very weird thing to experience. So it would be interesting to see how characters would interact. But there literally was nothing. There was like a 60-second cutscene where she says a line, not even directed at him. It's just like missed opportunities galore, you know? But okay, let's actually do this. Let's actually do this. Did I miss one? Yeah, one sentence, that's it. Yeah, it just, what a waste. What a waste. Okay, we're gonna add the credits. And, whoops, closed it accidentally. We're not gonna be grinding the battle pass, I'm sorry to tell everybody, but we can look at the skins, okay? So, there, and... Okay. dude, some of these are unbelievable. Okay. So we have the credits now. We have 1,200 credits, which is about $12 worth. Okay. As you can see, we have the character, Mrs. Freeze. We also have a few skins. Science of Style Arkham pack. So it's just the Arkham outfit. We also have Historic Cool Classic pack. Okay. We're just going to move on. The Riddler's Mark of Intelligence. Tailored Chaos Arkham pack, where it's just the Joker from the Arkham series. And then Doctored Results Arkham pack, Harley's Arkham suit, and then Strong Reactions FX. Wait, what? Strong Reactions FX, where you can set them on fire? You can't even preview it. I think it's just... Okay, well, that's weird. Oh. They do have... Okay. Wife Gal is the name of the skin. Here's the thing. I'm all for Pride. Like, nobody's questioning that. But this has got to be one of the most, like, kindergartner art experiment outfits I've ever seen. Like, this isn't... In no world is this fashionable or interesting. Like, it literally looks like when you're in the character creator and you just do the, like, press X to randomize. That's what this looks like. You know, the character designs in the base game were really good. I don't know who they got to do these, but guys... It's what makes you think, like, was there just honestly no feedback? Did nobody give any feedback at all at any point in this? Because that's what it looks like. I mean, it looks like there's just no feedback. Nobody was honest. Nobody said, are you serious? Like, this is what you came up with? This does a disservice to Pride. Like... If you wore this to Pride, everyone would feel shame. You know, like, this is unbelievably bad. I'm at a loss. Okay, so there's that. And then, like, this one, like, you're going to wear a garbage bag with, like, a little red... I can't zoom out. Just let me zoom out. There we go. It's just bad. It's just bad, dude. I don't know what to tell you. It's just freaking bad. But the idea that you would spend $10 on that. $10. Like, bro. You could buy a fourth of Concord for that kind of money. Like, geez. I'm at a loss. So anyway, let's just get this over with. We have Mrs. Freeze. And we'll just... Yeah, all of the skins are $10. All of them. This one's 800. I don't even know what these things are. It's like fire effects and tune effects. I think it's cell shaded. The Arkham pack, this one is $10 just to get an outfit that actually looks good on her. Spend $10 to make him look vaguely like the Joker from the game that was actually good. Man, okay. Well, with that, if we go over to Squad, I might have to back out all the way. I think I had to do this last time. I have to, like, quit session and then put her in the party and then swap back. So, wow. That's a lot. I'm already stunned. Like, this is what's honestly really entertaining about this, though, is that just when you think, like, there's no way it gets worse. Like, there's no way that it gets worse. They find a way. And it's genuinely impressive. Like it's genuinely impressive. I don't know how they manage, because a lot of games, it's about subverting expectations, right? It's like, oh, you expected us to do this boss fight in this way. Well, we're going to do it in this way. And there's a part 2 to the boss fight. And you're like, oh, wow, you subverted my expectations and blew me away all the more. With this, it's like you expected it to be bad. Hold my LaCroix. Let me show you what's up. It's just unbelievably, oh man. So we'll see how she plays. The Joker moves really cool. He's got a cool movement set. Nobody's going to take that away from him. But like, again, it's a lot of these live service games. It's about the structure. It's about how things are aligned and set up. And if you don't have that long-term support planned, and if you don't have the long-term gameplay loops set up properly, it's just not going to be successful no matter what you do. And with this, it's like you can grind for Mrs. Freeze for 3-4 hours, get her, and then grind the same missions all over again with no like objective. At least if you do something like this, you're grinding, like you get her immediately and then you can grind the content with the new character, which at least makes a little bit more sense.
Correct. I'm choosing your eternal torments.
Does she have any lines? Okay. So we have RB for Ice Path. This is the variant of the resources are dwindling. This is the variant of the glider ability that the characters have. But she gets to set up a little ice path. Okay. Left bumper is like the jump thing. Okay. Honestly, I was hoping that ice would stay for longer. It disappears so quickly you can't even really see it. Like, if you're really trying to see it, you can spot it, but it like melts so quickly it's gone before you can even look at it. In the promotional materials, it looked like you could actually see it. It looked like it stayed in the air for a while. I was excited to see like, oh, can other members of the party jump on it and you can like build a platform with ice and then everybody else jumps on it to fight. But you can't. It just disappears the moment you set it. I mean, in the videos, it looked better than it feels. I'm gonna be real. It's like a slushie.
Hold on, my systems need some adjustment.
Systems need adjustment. Climb up. There we go. Okay. Well, let's see also her talents. Let's see that.
Let's tweak it some more.
5x combo and higher increases firearm damage by 20%, causes successful counters to increase the damage of your next melee by 40%. Okay. Combos increase melee. Makes sense. Weak point analysis. Melee hits on frozen enemies remove the effect but regenerate 25 shield. Melee hits affect all enemies within 5 meters, but melee cooldown is increased by 2 seconds. That sounds interesting. We could try that. The assault rifles. Yeah, so I need to tweak her loadout real quick. She's currently got this heavy weapon. I think we'll do this one. And then for her sidearm, we can do... We took Deadshot away, so we'll give her that notorious weapon. She gets Thermal Equilibrium, which is her melee weapon, plus 3% suicide strike, resource generation, 50% melee damage on flash-infused enemies. Kills fully recharge your affliction resource and increases melee damage by 250% for 20 seconds. Oh, okay. I feel like every time I read these, I just get a headache. You know, villain synergy. Okay. Synergy discovered. Every time you damage a punished enemy, the damage you deal to it increased by 10% up to a maximum of 400. Okay. Okay, cool. Love that. Neck bomb. That's the thing with a lot of these games, though, is it's just like, yeah, pick the one with the best color, and you should be good. Villain synergy. I feel synergized. Elijah, thank you for the 5. Luke, I literally see lesbians wearing outfits like that every June. Gaudy rainbow punk looks like crap, but it is crazy to say it's not a big thing. Every June you see them wearing, you see people wearing, like, I live in Colorado. Like, we have crazy big pride parades. It's super fun. It's great. I have never seen someone wear something like this. Granted, I've never seen a superhero or supervillain, I guess, in real life. But I've never seen anybody wear anything that's as haphazardly thrown together as this. One of the most fun things about Pride, like parades, is that people put a lot of effort into their costumes and outfits and stuff. It's actually like pretty wild, the stuff you can see. People put a lot of effort into it. Kind of unlike what I think we're seeing here. Okay, let's just actually see how she plays. Hello. Oh God. Okay, that's a cool ultimate. I need to do it next to them, but still. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. We gotta get back in the swing of things, fam. It's been too long. It's been too long. Or has it been long enough? I don't know. Skadoosh.
Because this is basically an ordinary vacation in Metropolis for you.
Okay. Why is the screen shake so much worse than I remember? Do I have a setting turned off or something? Because I feel like the screen shake is outrageous right now. Huh. Okay. I think King Shark is still the most fun to move around with. Harley's not great. I don't really love Harley's movement. I love Boomerang's movement. He's fun. But yeah, this honestly not doing it for me. And I liked the Joker's movement. I thought he was really cool. But yeah, this ain't really doing it for me. I'd probably, if I grinded for her after all this time, I probably would just swap to back to Shark or something. Awesome gear. Let's try an actual mission. Let's give it a shot. Running. Yeah, see, I can't get that loop-de-loop quite right. There we go. Okay, let's do a mission.
Okay, Hack says jump, we say punch an alien on the way down.
Okay, sure. Why not? Draven, thank you for the $5 super chat. And zoom. The other thing they still do, all of these tutorials are still on screen. If you go back to videos I made at the beginning of this year, those tutorials were still on screen. Like, I've played this game plenty, and they still shove all of the tutorials down my throat constantly. I'm like, I've tried to turn them off in the settings. I've tried to do all sorts of stuff to get rid of them because I don't need them. But and it's not like really helpful, interesting tutorials. It's like, press A to jump. They're just broken. Where you at? Where you at? Okay, I don't see them. Okay. There you is. Just unload. 10 out of 10 IGN. Okay. See, it's like throw a grenade. I'm like, okay, I know how to throw a grenade, dude. Like, you can chill. I was just here. Oop. I'm out. Zoom, zoom. How's the performance? It's fine. I mean, I'm playing on Series X, so not like top of the line PC or anything, and it's fine. Like, there's occasional frame drops, but not more than what I've seen in other games of a similar type. I mean, it's pretty standard. Yeah, I just really wish the ice would stay here longer. I don't know if that's something they can patch, but it just feels like it melts as quickly as it arrives. And it'd be so cool if it could like create a platform for the other party members to jump on and use like their movement abilities with. But that's just not in here.
I assume that's why you've been killing my units.
Is it another helicopter? Is that what it is? Yeah, it is. It's like they both show red when there's a helicopter in range. Okay. B should be good, then A will be good here in a second.
Another one bites the dust. Get it? Done. Finished. Mark this one as scanned, people. We got everything we need, Task Force X. Good work.
And that's how much we leveled up the battle pass, just so you can see. Half of a level right there. What did I get? Show me my loot box. What'd I get in my loot box? Negotiator, it's not legendary, so I don't care.
Finally, equipment suiting someone of my stature. I believe that I am the most qualified to use something this powerful.
Okay. Yeah, we'll equip that. Villain synergy. Cool. I'm sure it does something awesome. And then this one. 15 XP granted. Brute enemies flying, not tanks or choppers though, but totally everything else. I'm gonna keep what I have.
Congratulations on the opposite of dying.
I will say on the flip side, you actually look on the far right, you can see current players. That's what they have listed. Now, current players, I don't know if that means like people who own the game, people who are online right now, people who have played episode 3. I don't really know how exactly it breaks down. But I would guess it's total players who have played episode 3 that are in the running for that leaderboard. So that would imply across PlayStation and Xbox, I think on Steam it's what right now, like 500 or something? Something like that. That would imply that they are in that range of like, you know, a few thousand jumped on it there.
Know what Daphne's pollen is made of? Plant sugars and spice and everything not nice for invaders.
I'm feeling this mission. Let me work.
Okay. I don't know, man. I don't know why I do this. I mean, I do know why I do this to myself, because people, for whatever reason, are interested in seeing it. Also, that mission was super easy, and we didn't even fully apply our skill points, which is really, really funny. Melee hit, melee, and then this, and then melee. Shield harvest, skill, melee kill. Okay, and then this one, boop. Airborne. Yeah, we were doing that a lot, and then we'll do that. Okay. Didn't mean to throw that. It's just every time I see the game and we try it, I'm always like, man, what a waste. You know? Every single time. It's like, this is one of the formerly top developers in the world. On the planet of Earth. And this is what they spent close to a decade doing. It's just heartbreaking, you know? It's just... It's like that old saying where it's like, I'm not even mad, I'm just disappointed. That's literally what this is. It's like, I'm not even really mad about Suicide Squad. Like, obviously I'm not thrilled with how it turned out, but more than anything, I'm just freaking disappointed that this is all they could put together after like a decade. Okay. Let's do one more. Let's do one more, then we should have a good idea. As if we don't already, but you know what I mean. Okay, let's go talk to the little plant person.
We are going to bring new life to this place.
And
a lot of death.
Okay.
Ivy, your green thumb is more like a green fist.
Okay. Yeah, they're on B. See, it's just the same missions. All I want is like new mission types and enemy encounters. Give me that. And we're talking. Yeah, I gotta crank the difficulty. This is like silly how easy it is to just chop through them.
Oh, they're doing so great.
Okay, let's try this big attack. If anybody's alive for it. Okay. Whoop. Yeah, I deserve that.
Draven Whitefish donated $4.99 through Super Chat. Sorry to interrupt your coverage of this .E level game, but do you think CDPR will be able to get their games out faster because of Unreal Engine 5?
I think after they've set it up, thank you for the 5, by the way. I think after they've got it set up and they have their systems in place, it probably does move faster, but I fully expect it's going to take them a little while extra to just get like the tools and processes figured out, you know?
Virus is now a number.
So eventually, yeah. But I think like Witcher 4 is going to take a good while.
What you suppose means more to your young power. Her blast pain, or your corpse.
Anyway. I just like, it's just so mindless, dude. It's so mindless. And maybe that's the point. Like, you know how some games, I call them like junk food games or like Netflix and chill games. I think we all have games kind of like that where it's not like, there's not a lot of meat on the bone. You're not playing it to like really get a whole lot out of it. It's more just something you play while you have like a baseball game or a football game or something on in the background, and it's just something you're kind of passively engaging with, but not like that intensely. Maybe that's what this is supposed to be. Maybe that's how you have fun with this, is you just turn your brain off. Because when I try to play this in like a sit down and we play the game and we pay attention, it's just, it'll suck your soul out, you know? The next character will be Killer Croc in a wheelchair. That's Mrs. Killer Croc in a wheelchair to you. Eco-terrorism and me. I feel like every time they show her, they expected us to like start snapping. You know, like, you know, there's types of people that do that, who instead of clapping, they snap for some reason. I get it if like your hand is full and you see a good performance of slam poetry and you want to like applaud, but you have a handful because you're holding a coffee or something. So you snap instead. I still do like the chest pat. I feel like that's more enthusiastic, but those people that do the snapping, I can't. It like actively drives me crazy. Cannot be equipped. Equip that. Okay. Back to the action. I'm telling you, dude, these things were loot boxes. Special delivery, you would have like bought them for $5. They drop in here, you get some stuff. I think that's why they delayed it like a year. I think that's how they had everything set up.
When she tires of using her plants for your ends, she'll use them for her own.
Jesus. Somebody was telling me in a comment section on one of our previous videos on this game, they're like, Luke, you complain about the grind, but all you need to do is go to those little floating, not helicopters, like the little, the thing I just blew up, not the helicopter, but before that. And you got to go hunt those down in these 3 locations on the map. They'll spawn every few minutes, and then you break those over and over again, and it will actually give you higher XP than the missions. So you just need to grind those for a few hours, and then you can get the Joker for free. Or whatever it was. I don't think it was the Joker. It was like level up the battle pass to get whatever cosmetic I was talking about. Whatever it was. And I was like, bro, I think if you have to go to that extent to like sit and wait for things to randomly spawn to grind, and we're just talking like literally the same style of gameplay as what Cartman and the boys do in that frickin' that episode with Peace, Love, and Warcraft, World of Warcraft, where they go and they grind all of the hogs over and over and over again. Okay. Like, that's what they're talking about. See, the game's actually really good. You just have to play it that way. And I guess my standards are just too high. But if a game is asking for me to do something like that, I'm checked out. Like, I'm just not that interested at that point. If it's going to ask me to grind the same monotonous, tedious, annoying stuff over and over and over again, I'm just going to check out. Can I crank the difficulty from here? Difficulty. Yeah, I need to crank it. Invasion. Let's go. So we were on normal. Let's crank it up a little because it's way too easy as is. Even that, like, look how quickly they're dropping. Maybe I have to load back in or something.
Target eliminated. Minimum collateral. Good job.
I also don't know why she's on fire. I think that's an ability, one of the perks. I don't know why they decided to make Mrs. Freeze light on fire and have a fire ability, because it literally doesn't make sense, but whatever. What do I know? I'm just the dumbass that spent $10 to get the character.
Only you were here, Nora. You always did like to upcycle.
I just... like, who talks this way? I get that they're, like, imaginary characters, they're supervillains, whatever. But, like, casually running around the map, and it's like, oh, yeah, we gotta remind people that this is, like, a character with a family and a wife that she loves. So let's talk about upcycling. It's just like... again, do they expect us to, like, snap in agreement? I just don't get it, dude. It's just so out of touch with how normal people behave. Okay, what's down here? Still just way too easy. Maybe I gotta, like, load into another one, another match or something.
On a streak like my published papers. Long and unethical.
On a streak like my published papers, long and unethical? What makes it I need to, okay, I gotta turn my brain off. The more I try to think about what's happening to me right now, the less it makes sense and my brain just breaks more. Like, you just can't think about it. You can't think about it or you'll drive yourself mad.
I like my experiment records to be accurate.
Okay. Okay. Drinking game, every time they say something dumb, take a shot. Do you want to die? 'Cause that's what's gonna happen. Okay. I think the last thing for us to do is to go and try to do an Elseworld mission. Stronghold, no. Elseworld. Beefy guys, counter, neck bomb, lucky charms. Flurry of blows, threat level. Oh, zoom out, please. Nope. Okay. Iced out.
Task Force X.
Let's just do this one.
I feel this is very much your area of expertise.
I really miss King Shark's movement. I'm gonna be real. I really miss it, but we did this, so we're sticking to it. Them's the rules. Get up here. Just need to get up to that spot. Jump on into the Elseworld. Here we go. Set difficulty. Sweating bullets. Love to see it. Pay. Ready up. There we go. So these are the missions that go into the Elseworlds, which are like the specifically the new maps that are basically created for this event.
This is the exciting multiversal tour I signed up for.
Tap. Okay, so this is the new area. Very icy. Indeed. And it's basically just a reworked version of what we've seen in previous Elseworlds, but now with ice. Instead of like birthday presents and stuff like that from the Joker. So firearm damage. Okay, so facility protection. Okay. 150 kills. Let's grind it. Where are they? Those frames are getting a little choppy. They're fighting for their lives. Oh, God. Oh. Got a snipey boy. And I fall all the way down. Oh, buddy. Oh, boy. Why are there Green Lantern guns here? How does that even make sense? What the hell is even that? Oh, I missed. Do you have a headache yet? I sure do. It's not gonna do anything. Yep.
That level of savagery was unexpected.
Yeah, these frames are starting to struggle. There's a lot going on. Only 60 left. We can do this. God.
Now, face a new bomber type.
I will adjust my approach.
Jeez.
My genius never ceases to amaze me.
God, there's so many.
Start the suit.
Launching explosive device.
Defensive perimeter down. Relocating.
Looks like a new bomber in hand. Kill task force 8 for me.
Damn it.
Savage, Dr. Fierce.
Ooh. How do I want to do this?
I am quite lethal. On deck.
Where are you? Oh boy. Can't do my jumpy jumps when I'm like that.
At least we don't have to worry about the onset of putrefaction on this Earth.
Okay. So that's the thing. That's the thing. Just try to melt him. If I do this, and then my ultimate thing. Trying to go all Kratos on him. So anyway. Okay. So on a scale of 9 to 10, how good was that? How good do you feel this update is? On a scale of 9 to 10 specifically. A 9? Wow, Poogie, we give this a 9. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Very high. I don't know, man. It's just, it is exactly what we expected it to be. Like, let's be perfectly clear. None of this is shocking or surprising. I think I'm still a little disappointed in the movement, because in the past, like with Joker, his movement was badass. I was like, okay, I could see maybe even going back through the first like the main story even with this. But look, the frost weapon she can't even equip. It has to be equipped by somebody else. Okay.
Today, you are more than average.
Okay. Like honestly, her movement's just not that. It's just not that usable or viable compared to the other party members. Like, King Shark's able to get much higher, much faster. Joker's able to get much higher, much faster, and pivot around the map in a much more dynamic way. Like with this, I can do this little jump thing. But the whole reason I was excited about Mrs. Freeze coming, I was like, okay, they could do this like Frozone thing where she creates this like wall of ice that then the rest of the party could walk on and climb on. So if there's like a boss fight where you need to get to a specific vantage point to snipe at him, she could create an ice platform for whoever has the sniper rifle and then pivot off, keep doing what she's doing. I think that'd be super cool, but no, it dissipates way too quickly. Like immediately, it's gone. So I'm kind of disappointed about that because I was like, the one thing they'll probably figure out is how to do that. But no, just no. Okay. Maybe the real Suicide Squad was the squad we had all along. Oh, shocker. No one wants to play. Well, I mean, I think, like, as I've said plenty of times, the problems with Suicide Squad are both narrative and, like, clearly they had priorities that were strange. But the problems with Suicide Squad more than anything are structural. As a video game, it's just not good. Like as a live service game, it's atrocious. There's basically no content available for a game that you were supposed to be playing for years. Like that's what they wanted to do with this game. You're supposed to be able to play it for years and years and years. Which is pretty crazy when you see how it turned out, like how little content there was. But that's the thing is like, I think you can point to some of the stuff like the decision for gender swapping Mr. Freeze, or you could point to the Giggler or the Joker baby. You could point to that stuff and be like, see, that's why the game is bad. But no, the game was bad well before they decided to put Mrs. Freeze in. Well before they decided on the Jonkler. It's just not a very good game. And that's where, like, I think if you make your primary frustration known to be, like, the design of Mrs. Freeze, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot when you argue this. I left because I didn't want to do the mission. Okay. Like, you're shooting yourself in the foot because a lot of people will just dismiss what you're saying immediately because they're like, well, yeah, I mean, it's just you don't like that because of whatever personal reasons, so that's not my fault. But I think that can diminish your point when it's like at its core, it's just a bad game. Like you don't have to say much of anything else. It's just as a video game, it's just not very good. It's not more complicated than that. Yeah, this difficulty's better. Gotta actually pay attention with this, because they are bullet sponges. Just unload. Got another health bar to chew through.
Honestly, I expected more from you, Dr. Chris.
Oh, that was my bad. That one, my bad. Oh, I thought I could get to him. They saw Avengers fail and thought by connecting this game to the Arkham series it'll be acceptable. Well, it's just such a like delusional thing to think that, well, we made a really popular game series. So if we just take that popular game series and turn it live service, it will be successful, right? We'll just print money. That's just not how that works. The audiences are different. And I think that that's hopefully the lesson that a lot of these like big execs, even at Sony, have learned this year and in the last few years, is that you can't expect single player gamers to connect with your live service game just because they've liked some of the other stuff that's been done. It just doesn't work. Like, you saw it with Naughty Dog being forced to do a Last of Us Online game that was eventually canned, because it's like, hey, even if we do this, the audiences probably don't overlap. It won't sell very well. And we're going to have to never make a single player game ever again, because all we'll ever be doing is live service updates. You know, it's like, that's not going to turn out well. Did he fall all the way down here? Is that where he's at? Yeah. So I hope that they've at least learned that lesson. But I mean, I think a lot of us thought they would have learned the lessons about live service stuff back in like 2017 after the whole Battlefront 2 debacle. But these executives never cease to amaze me, you know. It's always really impressive that they find ways to continue screwing stuff up when, like, it's the easiest layup. It's like, hey, just make something that's not a pile of crap and is like honors the source material, true to the source material of the Arkham series, and lean into production quality and the narrative side of stuff. Just do that. It'll be great. They're like, okay, we hear you. But you know that game, Avengers, that flopped? What if we just did that? Oh. Oh, man. And then it's just more waves of them. Gotta break them with melee. And then unload. Then shield break them. Look for another one. Somewhere. Okay. Move to the next one. I also just want everybody to remember this game was $70. Just something to keep in mind. Just I think keep that in your back pocket. Just remember that. Think about that. Ponder it. Cherish it. Jesus! What even was that? I can't even tell what had just happened. Okay. We got curb stomped. Just like my current mental health. Oh man. Yeah, $70 for a game that won last year. I mean, it sounds like an exaggeration, but this is what? July 25th, season 2. Season 3 probably drops in October, maybe. And then season 4, maybe January. And then after that, they probably walk away because they have 4 that they need to do. So I don't, like, you're probably not wrong. It probably is just about 11 months that this game will be alive before they just walk away. But that's just what happens when you have a game that doesn't immediately connect with people. That's live service. They just are like, okay, well, it's trash. That was fun. Just walk away. I saw a Reddit post of a guy. He showed a screen cap. He had 600 hours in this game. 600 hours. I genuinely don't know how you get to that point. Like, where do you find 600 hours? I don't know. Like, at this point, I don't know where I'm at in terms of hours played. Probably like somewhere between 15 and 20 because the base game was so short. but it's probably around there. And I still feel like I'm losing my mind with how repetitive this stuff is. I don't know how somebody does 600 hours. You just leave it on the main menu? Honestly, I think that's the most reasonable solution. That's easier to believe that somebody did that for 600 hours, which still is a ridiculous amount of time to keep a game open on your, just on the menu. But it's easier to believe that than that somebody spent 600 hours playing this. So, I don't know. After all this, I was honestly hoping there'd be more to talk about. Let's quickly, okay, let's do this. Like I said, I accidentally skipped the cutscene. So let's pull up the cutscene real quick to actually look at the narrative component of this, okay? Because there is a narrative piece of this that they keep, you know, they frame as a big selling point. There we go, activate. So I want to talk about that briefly. Let me swap my input on my display. There we go. Okay. So once my screen comes back, we can just pull that up. Because bear in mind, like they were initially when they were selling this game, they were like, oh, we have more unique cutscenes and dialogue in this game than anyone we've ever made before. They kept framing it around there. And everybody was like, I mean, it's a live service game. Like, you don't need to tell us it's going to be like a cinematic masterpiece if it's a live service game. Like, don't lie to us. Just like, if that's what it is, that's what it is. Like, you don't need to say much more than that. Come on. Come on, Mr. Monitor. Work with me. Oh, it just beeped. I think the monitor turned itself off and back on. Real quick, also, thank you to Christmas the Tree for subbing with Prime over on Twitch. Thank you, my friend. Thank you also, Beerus for the membership. Matthews Media, thank you for the 2 Game of the Year nominee. Almost certainly. And I think it's going to read this one. No? Because okay. It only will read out loud the 5 ones. Have you got around to beating Armored Core 6 yet? I have not finished all of Armored Core 6. I have it on my ROG Ally, and I've just been like working through it occasionally. But like I haven't actually finished it. I should though. Like July's dead. There's nothing else to really talk about. So obviously we're doing this stream. So I think we could definitely finish it. I just need to do it. It's really solid. Like it's great, but okay. Let's see. All squad interactions with the Flash. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Meet Mrs. Freeze. Okay, here's the cutscene for joining the squad. And what else do we have? Do we have the intro? Here it is, intro cutscene. Okay, are you guys ready for this? I'm not sure if you're ready, because we're gonna watch it. Hang in there, man. The game is 70% off right now. They're trying. They're trying. Is this it? Okay. I think that's right. Okay. Let's just do this. Okay. 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 We're good. Open this tab. We'll have that open. Pause. Okay. Okay. Let's start with the intro cutscene. Okay. Let's start with the intro cutscene. So this is what you see when you first boot up the game. Okay. This is the narrative introduction to the one and only Mrs. Freeze. Here we go.
Here we are again. Me and you against the world. What a world it is. It took serious modifications to my body to survive in Brainiac's frozen wasteland. As for my mind, Dr. Frias always has a plan. But I couldn't plan our way out of this one. Time and time again, I refused to join Amanda Waller and her task force.
They literally just did like, you know, in Photoshop when you do like Control-I to invert a layer. That's kind of what they did with this alternative dimension Waller. They're like, the Waller that the players know is like super small and scrawny. So what if we just did the opposite? Like, that's pretty scary.
Involvement would do little to save the world. But I could save our world. Eventually, the calls stopped coming, and we were alone. Until now. I received a communication from another Waller. Another dimension, another chance. This Waller seems different. More calculating. Her task force sounds marginally more competent. They've already begun a counterattack against Brainiac. But as always with Waller, there was a deal to be made. Her world's greatest scientific minds working on a cure. For my assistance in recovering the Flash. Send a scientist to find a scientist. I said logic. If her people can reach us, it'll prove their capabilities. And if they can't, it's still me and you against the world. Nora.
Okay. So that's the cutscene, and then it's the little introduction that we also saw. Okay. After you grind all of this out, you then get to see her join the squad. Okay. Let's see her joining the squad. That first clip, by the way, shout out to Dan Allen Gaming for having that captured and put up so quickly. And then shout out to Ben Gunn for having this clip ready to go. Here we go. You ready? Let's see if you grind this out, what you get.
Come on, Sharko, it's one frozen lady. How hard can it be?
Kid, get down here.
Victoria Frias, I presume.
Amanda Waller. So tell me again about the partner benefits.
The deductibles are hell.
Whoa! Like a giant collectible! She's in mint condition! BNIB!
Nora has undergone vitrification. She is not an action figure.
I think they are bonding.
Shark, we didn't go through all that to make friends. We need her tech to win the war.
Statistically, it's extremely unlikely you can stop Brainiac.
Come on. I thought you'd be up for taking the long shot, no matter the cost.
Oh, tingly.
These are your world's finest scientific minds? What happened here?
I am more of a hobbyist, but I would also be happy to assist. And you get to hang out with us while your Sheila's defrosting. No offense.
I'll be frank, Dr. Frias. You want Task Force X to take you and your wife back to the Ice Age. Fine. But you know a better offer isn't coming. For either of you.
Desperate times, desperate measures. Name your price.
There might be a teeny nanite bomb in your head, Clive.
Do it. For Nora. No matter the cost.
Good for them. Cute couple. You got strong and you got silent.
I eliminate Brainiac from the multiverse, and you fulfill your end of the deal. Yes?
First, a little downtime, Doctor. Luther has some files on metahuman tissue regeneration that I'd like an expert opinion on.
Don't worry, ma'am. We'll look after her. Does she like store brand or name brand? I've got protein bars.
Huh. So you grind like 3 hours for that. Like 3 hours. Hold on. Okay. And then what's the final season 2? Okay, let's see. And then this also from Ben Gunn, the Brainiac boss fight. Is it new?
Here to reclaim your sworn enemy, the Flash? How touching. I'll be more than happy to share my research with you. In fact, I've made a breakthrough. As you can see, I am now a league of my own.
Dude.
Calculators out and pencils ready, Task Force X.
Hey, Luther, how do we do this?
So, I mean, again, no shocker. It's just another reskin and fighting waves of enemies, shooting weak points, breaking crystals to break shields on other weak points that you shoot. It's like the reporting so far. Jason Schreier did a great report back in early June where he described kind of what went on with this. And he said currently there's a bit of a skeleton crew working on this. They have a few people doing some work on it. Everybody else at Rocksteady is either prepping a pitch for a new single player game, or they are helping Warner Brothers Avalanche prepare for the launch of the director's cut of Hogwarts Legacy, which is coming as well. So I don't think they're doing active work on this. I think this has been done for months probably, and they are just like putting it out, and it just is what it is. You know, I don't think they're actively like changing anything. I think everybody that did all of this work probably is working on other stuff now, or they don't work at Rocksteady anymore. So like I don't expect anything to change for the next update or anything, but it's just there were decisions made that make me really question the capability of the studio now. Because again, like, you can blame consultancy groups and stuff like that. You can point at those and be like, see, they ruined this game. But that's not, I don't think that follows. If somebody consults on this game and they tell you, hey, we know that you gotta like really excite people. You gotta bring people over. You gotta get them into your game and to stay for those seasonal updates that bring new playable characters, and they have to want to grind for those new playable characters. So we got to pick playable characters that are going to be extremely fun. What are we going to do? Let's take beloved characters and put them in the game? No. We're going to take beloved characters and then we're going to gender swap them, and then also give them some of the most like lackluster costume designs that I've seen in a recent game. And I don't understand it. Like the Joker, okay, the Joker's dead, so I understand why they wouldn't be able to just bring back Joker 1-to-1. But this I just don't get how anybody on the team thought this was a good idea or that this would end well, you know? Like I just don't understand it. Because somebody had to look at all of this like a year ago, because people were data mining this a year ago, maybe not quite a year ago, but months and months and months ago. And so this has been in the game for ages. And so probably before they designed it a year or two ago, when they were deciding on this lineup, they had to decide that this was the best option, because developers don't do the most mediocre choice when they're trying to design features or playable characters. They're going to pick the ones that they think will get the best response. And if they thought that this was going to get the best response, we're dealing with a level of delusion that is not fixable with just getting greenlit with a new single player game. Like, that calls into question all of their capabilities as game directors, as a studio themselves. And that's the problem. I mean, that's the real problem at the end of the day. Let's see.
I'll break you down into something even simpler and much smaller.
Phase 2. Shoot more purple zits. Where's my mouse? There it is. How does it all end? Let's see. Let's see.
My projections predicted something akin to this. I never intended to experience. This data is beginning to give diminishing return.
Oh, wow. I really used to get it winded. Hey, shouldn't you all be in jail?
I've adjusted the phasing array so they can choose the terms and conditions of their own suicide missions.
Dude, having to grind out 25 of those things. Oh, man. More power to you. I don't have the strength.
What are you idiots doing? Get the Flash into stasis and get back to work.
Wish you were always that fun, Flasher. We'll make a sidekick out of you yet.
Yeah, they didn't they didn't even like do cutscenes for it. They just did like still shots. They did a full-on redfall. They redfalled it. It's just tonally, it's really weird, dude. The game is just weird. You know, like I don't even know what to say anymore. People are like, Luke, why are you still covering this game? Why do you still play it and stuff? And I jokingly said at the top of the stream that I had people dare me basically like a year ago. I was making videos on how there were a lot of red flags with this game and how I thought it was going to be dumpster fire. And people were very triggered. There were people, funnily enough, that were calling like me a brokey for not wanting to spend $70 on the game, which is really funny. There were people that said, you're not even going to play the game after all of this. When it drops and ends up being great, you're just going to shut up and pretend like nothing ever happened. So I was like, okay, you know what? I will play the game. I will cover it. We'll follow it. We're going to follow it all the way to the dumpster, and I will light it on fire in preparation for its arrival. It's just, but more than anything, it's just fascinating. The fact that there's well over 1,000 people watching like this stream shows that there's a bit of a morbid fascination with it. And more than anything, I think it's that people in the gaming community right now like seeing games that are soulless, that have been designed just to milk them for money. They like seeing those games fail because it's like, you know, winning against the corporate bigwigs who thought they could get away with this kind of thing. And so there's a sort of schadenfreude with it where everybody feels for the devs. Like the skeleton crew working on this game, they don't, like, I don't think they are responsible for any of this. They're just doing their best and trying to, it's their job. They're just trying to make a living. But I think that like the game directors that made these choices, they do deserve a lot of flack for all of this. And the reporting from Jason, like, what even is this? Dude, they're praying. I'm not joking. Look at this shot. They all have their hands folded Eyes closed. She's kneeling, like bowing and praying at putting him in the stasis chamber. What? I don't get what the joke is. Is the joke that he's like a saint that they're entombing? Is the joke... I don't get the joke. I'm just missing something here. I don't get it. They're all kneeling, actually. Okay, so he's even kneeling too. I don't get it. I don't get it. I missed something. Yeah, I mean, so much of this, it's just like the game is either confusing or the extent of the design decisions in the game are that somebody with like a weird sense of humor or like a weird opinion of what's cool and entertaining, they decided do this and then nobody questioned it. Like if somebody said, oh yeah, and then we should do this like montage kind of thing of them goofing around with the Flash. Okay, maybe. Yeah, well, what are you thinking? Well, let's do shots of like everybody kneeling with their hands clasped together as Dr. or Mrs. Freeze is putting him into this stasis chamber. Wouldn't that be so funny? Would it be though? I don't know, man. It's like the team has some inside jokes and they think it's funny only for them, so they put it inside the game. Maybe I genuinely don't understand what this is supposed to be a joke of. Like, I don't get it.
Wish you were always that fun, Flasher.
Like, that makes sense. Pose next to him, like, yeah, we captured him, we got him. This, yeah, taking selfies. You know, we got some people embarrassed by it. Some people think it's a bad idea. I get that. This kind of lines up.
Into stasis and get back to work.
I just don't understand this one. I just don't get this one. Anyway. Yeah. If this Flash is alive, they'll make him go back in time, reset the timeline so this game never happened. I mean, yeah, they data mined that the Flash was actually alive like months ago. So I think they had plans for a long time to bring Flash back, and then he's going to undo some of the timeline. They might even do stuff, or they might have meant to do stuff where like he brought back Batman. That's my guess, is that he's going to bring back Batman by resetting the timeline. And there might even be more Kevin Conroy dialogue or something. I don't know, but yeah. There's going to be another episode to the season in like a month or two. And when they do that, it'll be another Brainiac reskin fight. But then nothing else. And then like another month or two after that, we'll get season 3, which is going to have another playable character. Does anyone in chat remember what the third playable character is? I have already forgotten. Season 3. Oh yeah, Zoe Lawton. That's right. Miller Ross, who's done a bunch of data mining on the game, said, meet Zoe Lawton, aka Lawless. She's grown up since that photo was taken. This photo on like his locker door or whatever. She's grown up since that photo was taken, but not enough to know better. Her and her crew are smuggling in Kuluan weapons from the Metropolis invasion to steal from Gotham's elite in Robin Hood-style heists. Wealth redistribution, she'd say. Dude, it's like a meme of itself at this point. They're like, again, all of the writing is just, like, they expect you to just go, it's unbelievable. Like, again, they're supposed to be putting characters in that are like freaking badass and that you're getting super, super excited for. And instead they're doing this stuff. Like, give me actual Robin Hood and I'd be more interested. It's unbelievable. But this is also why I've said, like, I'm personally not that worried about like activist participation in the games industry, because when they do get the chance to basically write a game story and characters and stuff, as seems to be the case with Suicide Squad, it almost always reveals itself in a hilarious way, because they're not good at it. Like, because they're not writers, they're not authors, they're not narrative experts. They are activists first and foremost, and whether their causes are good or bad doesn't really matter. But the point is, if you are going in and then choosing characters for a video game, or you're writing a story for a video game because you've been hired to help with them with that, but you're not a writer, the story's probably going to be bad. And with this stuff, like, it ends up floating to the top almost every single time, where the game just reveals itself to be very, very cringy, very bad. And as a result, the market kind of adjusts for it. Like, this game, kind of just a pile of garbage. And as a result, it's lost them $200 million. So I'm just of the mind that generally this stuff will fix itself, you know? Like, it'll just sort of resolve itself, because they'll put out a bunch of garbage, and then it's like, wait, the game's bad? How could we have known? You know? It's like, if you had asked literally anybody about this, they could have told you this was going to end this way. But yeah. What they did is they wrote off, according to their earnings call, their CFO said that they were writing off a $200 million loss. This isn't an article. This is from their earnings call, which you're down to listen to. You're free to listen to. It's available in investor relations on their website. But the CFO and the CEO described how they have had to account for a $200 million loss as a result of the failure of the video games they've launched in Q1 of this year. It's not technically Q1. I think it's Q4 of their fiscal year, but you get what I'm saying. So it has absolutely lost them hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, and there is no question. There is no question. They lost so much money with this game. It's ridiculous. But anyway. So here we are. Here we are now. I could keep grinding it, but I mean, we know how it's going to end. We know it's just going to be that cutscene, and then it's like, yep, continue grinding. So I don't think it's that necessary. I think we can take off the next 3 months, and then we'll see what they do probably in October with another playable character, and then they'll have a final season 4 update. And it looks to be that at that point they're going to cut their losses and move on. Play Fallout London. I need to get it installed and stuff, but yes, I do want to do that. So yeah, in case you guys missed it, Fallout London just launched. And it is the complete, like, DLC sized mod for Fallout 4 that brings London to Fallout 4. It's kind of crazy. Release World of Fallout London, maybe. Come on. Come on.
Modernity. The home to the echoes of naval stories is Greenwich, with its maritime charm with 460 cells. Antique.
It's pretty crazy. If you've not watched this full video, this like 13-minute video that they do explaining how big it is, you got to check it out, because it is unbelievable what they've done. And they've put it together. They're dropping it again as a DLC for everybody. And it was supposed to launch back on April 23rd. But they had to delay it because Bethesda did their next gen update for Fallout 4, which broke all of the mods, which is the most Bethesda thing I've ever heard. So they delayed it, and now they're releasing it finally, now that they've fixed those mods that broke. So it's here. it's here. So I'm going to install that. We'll probably do a video on the main channel about it. So absolutely. Ghoulified Queen Elizabeth is tight. Is there a ghoulified Queen Elizabeth? I can't tell if you're joking or not, but if she is in the game, that's amazing. That's phenomenal. Yeah, Aaron, it really is true that the cause doesn't matter. Putting political activism before making a fun, appealing game just makes for bad games. Yeah, well, and that's why I stress, like, it doesn't matter if you agree with like the pursuits of whatever the activism is, like whether it's something on the far right or far left or in the damn center. It doesn't matter. If you have people who are not writers and not game designers designing your game and writing your game, it's probably going to be a bad game. It's just not that complicated. Yeah. London requires backwards revert patch, I think. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to try to go through the hoops of installing it because I'm very interested. Law for all those games that right-wingers make. Yeah, well, I don't think you can get a lot of public funding if you try to do like far right whatever games. I don't even know what that would be. I did get contacted years ago by a guy that made a game that like allowed you to play through a recreation of the Columbine high school massacre or something. It was a little weird. And then when I was like, I'm not sure I'm interested in that, you know, he was like, well, we got to fight back against like the PC crowd. And I was like, I just don't think it's a good idea. I was like, I just don't know why we would make that game or play that game. It's like, well, it's for freedom of speech. I'm like, cool. I'm going to use my freedom of speech to not cover that game because I don't think that that's a good idea. It was just like, it was one of those things where I was like, you know what? No, thanks. I'm just going to pretend like I don't have that in my brain. We're just going to move on. Yeah. Someone needs to monitor that guy's fine. I think he was like a free speech activist, and his point, like he was trying to make something to show like art should be able to talk about anything. And it's like, okay, I get that, but you shouldn't be surprised when people don't want to engage with it if it's in like really poor taste. You know, I was like, just because you're allowed to do something doesn't mean that people will like it. You know, that's a different question. So there was a concept art of a ghoul Queen Elizabeth with mutated corgi dogs. Dude, for real? That's crazy. If that's in the game. I don't know. Is that in bad? Do we have any Brits in chat? Would that be in bad taste if you were playing Fallout London and you came across a ghoulified Queen Elizabeth, rest her soul, and her dogs? Would that be in bad taste, or would you just like, would you be like, oh no, that's kind of cool? Because I don't know. In the US, I'm trying to think of like, I don't think it would bother people if there was like, you know, President Nixon. I mean, even Futurama kind of makes fun of that. But I don't know about other countries if people would find it triggering or not, you know? No, but I've never cared about the royal family. No, wouldn't bother me. Okay. Depends on how it would be framed. Oh, yeah. Wait, Luke, I just realized it's Thursday instead of Friday. Does that mean you're not streaming tomorrow? My plan is still to stream tomorrow. What we'll stream, I'm not exactly sure. I hope we have more to talk about with some other topics. I got a head full, but today is just a momentous occasion. You know, today's a momentous occasion. We have Mrs. Freeze now. Everybody should be celebrating. Yeah, Finance Friday tomorrow. Yeah, I think we've got some funny clips we can pull up, so buckle up, buckaroo. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining me today. We had, you know, well over 1,000 people in here for most of the stream. That's just phenomenal and fantastic. Appreciate the gosh darn heck out of every single one of you guys. I'm going to go install Fallout London, get that ready. We're going to do a video on the main channel on this whole Suicide Squad thing to put it to bed. And yeah, it's going to be a good day. Going to be a good day. And tomorrow's going to be good. We're rocking and rolling, okay? Much love, everybody. I'll see you very, very soon tomorrow. And until then, I love you. Stay safe. I'll see you guys. Bye. I'm bad at outros. Waller out. Exactly.